Despite Gibraltar's positive press as a green list destination and welcoming a number of tourists this summer, retailers have told GBC that they've missed cruise passengers, describing them as big spenders. There haven't been many cruise calls in Gibraltar since February last year, but those that have arrived have remained in bubbles, excursions where they come straight off the vessel onto a tour bus and don't really mix in the rest of Gibraltar. But today is the first time since then where independent passengers will be getting off on the Rock and exploring Main Street and the rest of Gibraltar on their own. Every liner has their own rules on whether passengers need to remain in bubbles or not.
So the last cruise ship we had, they had about 700 passengers on board and 600 went on excursion. Why? Because they were bubbled. That means that passengers were not allowed off the ship unless they were actually taking up an excursion. Today, for example, we have 631 passengers on board, and yet only 170 have actually taken up the excursions. The rest are doing it independently.
What would you say your peers on Main Street might make of today's milestone as you've described it?
I think that everybody should be very happy. This is basically as normal as we are going to get, and I think that everybody should be very happy of this fact. I think that the world is actually coming to terms with having to live with COVID, and possibly this is the first sign of the business will go on and the show has to go on.
Passengers independent of private excursions also gives others the opportunity to offer their services.
Long time coming. Me myself, I've hardly worked for the last year. The last 2 months haven't been too bad, mainly Spanish customers. But we haven't seen a ship here for 18 months. So yeah, we're all looking forward to, it's not just us, I think it's good for JIB in general, because especially English people, they tend to spend a bit of money in town.
It's great to see some cruise passengers in town today. Obviously we've had an absence of cruises this summer and we've noticed it. We've got a great local support, but obviously the addition of tourists always helps. So in comparison to tourists who are maybe coming just across the border from Spain, we obviously see with cruise passengers they've got a bit more spending money, and they tend to bring in bigger spending into the shops.
On this occasion, it's up to the visitors to choose what they're most comfortable with.
This is our fourth time here, so we just like to wander around. We've been up to the Rock before and got attacked by an ape, but so I'm not going there again.
The only thing is, I have to steer away from the jewellery shops because the last time we were here it cost me a lot of money.
This is the first opportunity we've had to cruise since 2019, December 2019.
Yeah.
And we just thought we didn't want to do a UK one, but we've been double jabbed,
but everything's been really good on the ship. I mean, there's a few awkward things where you can't be as flexible as you want to be. Like you want to go and get a coffee or anything like that, you've got to ask people, which is fine. It really isn't a problem, And they're actually doing a complete cabin sanitizer this morning as well. We've done antigen tests a couple of days ago, so we could come in here. So we've got the certificates and everything. So yeah, we've got everything in place.
Got off a few times in Spain, but we've just kept ourselves to ourselves. So you are wary of it, of course, and going around in masks and just watching your social distancing, hand washing, sanitising, and that sort of thing. So you're very conscious of it, but don't let it stop you.
MH Plan says that it has around 30 liners scheduled to call on the Rock this year still, but that this is constantly changing. Whether operators want to stick to bubbles depends on the situation at the time. However, MH Plan expects this will change by March next year.